good day for the markets, even if we ended off the day's highs. And if you look at the intraday of the Nifty, very good move per se, up about 1%, but we did come off from the highs of today, and that was a bit of a worry, even for the mid caps and the small caps. While the day was okay, underperforming the Nifty, but okay day, but ended off the highs of the day. Now, what was the market led up by? Almost everything, because there were very few losers, maybe an odd Reliance and maybe a few others, but otherwise it was largely a day that belonged to the gainers, from a Grasim to a Finserv to two-wheeler stocks like Hero Moto and iShares, SBI from the PSU banking space, and PSU banks was the best performing index. So that whole clutch of names did very well. Effectively, you can see almost everything did well. What didn't do well were a few. Shriram Finance a little bit, Reliance Industries a little bit, but nothing too untoward. That is the key point that you got to notice in the session today. You can't take your eyes off PSU banks because they had a phenomenal outing in the session today. Almost every PSU bank worth its salt was in the green. And you look at names like Bank of Maharashtra to a UCO Bank to a IOB to a BOI, everything had gains, including the big boy State Bank of India. So that the banking space did well, NBFC selectively did okay, and almost every other sector but for media had a fairly decent outing in the session today. We should, like here as shown, media was the only one which was down in the red. Just wrap up with what happened on the BSE 500, just to give you a sense of the varied participation that we saw in trade today. So the likes of Aegis Logistics up 12%, but there was also a VIP, which at a point of time was up 16%, eventually ending up 11% higher. Latent View about 9.5%, Century about 8.5%. One PSU bank makes it, or yes, one in the top 10, but the likes of Relaxo, Suven Pharma, etc. also came to the fore. So clutch of names had some very strong outings. What didn't do well? JM Financial and IIFL, both of them under a bit of pressure. Torrent Power after a long time actually corrected a little bit, so that one too cracked, and Hudson Agro also. As we wrap up 2000 or FY24, if you will, just polish it off with showing you what the markets did in the last 12 months. 31% uptake for the Nifty 50, and I think we did well, but we underperformed some of the other global markets like the US, for example. Mid caps up 60%, and small caps, despite the recent performance, the best performing index up 68%. So if you have been a small cap investor, you're very happy right now. Let's hope that if not an encore, at least some bit of this rubs off in FY25.